Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the IceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warranjoy, where we're on traditional land for the IceHQ Pro League Summer 23-24. Friday night is hockey night here in Reservoir, and what we have tonight is a lot of new stuff. It's round one of our third season of the IceHQ Pro League here in Reservoir, and Gossie, some things have changed. The first thing, it's one game each Friday, no double headers. All games will be starting at 7:30, and there are some changes to those game formats. They are 3 by 18-minute periods. There is a cut between each period, which will mean roughly a 10-minute break for each team. We will have stop time in the last 3 minutes if there's less than a 2-goal differential. And we'll have one 30-second timeout per team as well. In the case of a tie, it will go straight to a shootout, so we won't be having any overtime. Other things that are new, 3 teams. This is the big one. The Bruins are gone this season, so all we have is the Snipers, led by Liam Webster and Michael McMahon. The Reservoir Dogs, with, of course, IceHQ and Australian ice hockey legend Jamie Burke, also with Jordan Warren part of that team. And for the Inferno, Matt Karuna. Unfortunately, this season, Steve Bellick is missing due to a long-term illness, and we do wish him the best for a speedy recovery, and we're looking forward to seeing him back here as soon as he is able, but there is no Steve Bellick this season. So some of the differences, the lines will be bigger with just the 3 teams. If you're looking at the warm-up, you can see that it is chockers. Both teams are here in mass numbers. No short benches and long shifts this week. Gossie, that's going to be one big change. Each team gets a bye every 3rd week, or is it every 2nd week? My maths isn't that great at the moment. And there'll be 3 games before the Christmas break, and then it's all on for summer, resuming in February, late February or thereabout. Gossie, what do you think about that?
Well, it's the big one for me is the reduction from 4 teams to 3 teams, right?
It's a biggie.
But hockey, it's a result-based business. And, you look at the last 2 seasons. First year, it was the Dogs that went undefeated. They did play against these Snipers in the grand final series, but beat them in 2 games. So Dogs with 1 championship, the Snipers runners-up. And then last year, against all odds, going from 4th to 1st, it was the Inferno that were able to beat those Dogs out. So again, they have 1 championship. So I guess the only team that hadn't made the grand final were the Bruins, and
which
no
one
they'll
expected last season because they started so dominant. Jordan Warren and Matt Karuna had a fantastic team going there with the Bruins last season, and of course this season now we know that they won't be here. Just bring you all up to speed too. Just looking at the rink, we do have a pretty healthy crowd here tonight, so a lot of people have come along to watch this opening round of the 23-24 IceHQ, I was about to say Beer League, the Pro League here. So it's pretty exciting to see a full house. The grandstand is standing room only, and the edges are full, and the bar, well, you know what the bar's like. It's always pretty full. And I can vouch for the chips being pretty tasty.
I still stand by it. I reckon they're the best chips in Melbourne. I absolutely adore them here, especially with your secret topping.
So it's no secret. It's Nando's Extra Hot Peri Peri. There's no secret in that one at all. Some really interesting things tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jamie Burke matching it up. I think one of the interesting challenges will be with the, because we're playing the Snipers. Liam Webster, of course, a legend of the sport, one of the best face-off players. If you're looking at how to win face-offs, he is the man to watch. But him and Michael McMahon on the same team, when they spent all winter playing on opposite teams in Melbourne, Liam Webster being a legend of the Melbourne Ice, and Michael McMahon, how can I forget? The Mustangs, of course, yes.
Yeah,
bleed orange.
And interestingly...
having those two on the same team would be fascinating.
Yeah, and interestingly enough as well, we got 2 first-time coaches on the bench here for both these teams for the men's competition. Coaching the Dogs is a goaltender from last season, Austin Lefkowitz, who will be coaching the Dogs this season. And familiar face here at IceHQ, if you followed the Winter Women's League, we have Drew Coffray returning to the Snipers, now coaching the men this season. He took the women to the grand final last season against the Dogs, and unfortunately lost that one. So he'll be looking to go one better this season, and the Dogs will be hoping to replicate the success of the women's franchise this season.
Well, that indeed. It's great to see Trevor Leo back on the ice again. He's one of my favourite defensemen. He's a really stable, rock solid, doesn't make mistakes, always does the smart thing sort of a defenseman. You won't see him showing up in highlight reels, Trevor Leo, but what you will see is when he's on the ice, it's very, very difficult to score against. And the Dogs have always had a premium on their defensive lineup. They've always been the most frugal to score against, and we're looking forward to see how they go with that. But the Snipers, we're seeing back Lockie Cincotta. It's great to have him back. Michael McMahon, of course, and they're going to be a very hard team to beat. But the opening face-off will be between Vajasov and it looks like Paul Lazzarato.
With Liam Webster playing there on the back end out there with Peng. So you won't be seeing Liam on the face-off dot tonight, Carl, but we know he's played very well on the back end throughout his career as well. So
he can do anything.
Big job. So here we are underway for the 2023-24 Summer Pro League here at IceHQ. The Dogs have the puck. It's Robertson that chips that up, picked up by Lazzarato. It chips down into the corner with Robertson giving chase. Puck's rimmed around, collected there by Burke, and a nice move to get away from Webster, and here comes Caruana. Or Raczynski, sorry. Comes back here to Walls. Walls looking to go D to D as Robertson bumps into official Craig there.
Armstrong Frey just discovered the ice and has some ice on his backside to show for it.
Now puck's there on the far side corner, held in there by Lazzarato. Comes out there to Burke, across, shot there by Burke now. That one goes wide. Robertson activates off the point, a nice stick there by the sniper, but it's kept in there. Robertson looking to center it off the stick of Peng and over into the far corner. Behind the net here is Vadim Vajasov. He's got the puck, just leaves it there for Burke, and it rims back behind with Liam Webster collecting it now. Snipers get it out with a nice pass up to Flack. Flack, who is taken 4th overall here, over into the blue line. Takes a nice move to walk around Stringer, but a great stick there broke up that play.
Yeah, good defensive work there by Troy Robertson. With just reading
interception
the
there
really nicely.
Gallagher was forced to wait up for Dixon to touch up, but in goes Todd Cutter wearing blue. Longtime Bruin player so far in this competition. It's shipped out center, intercepted there. Dixon with a shot, and that ramps right up the stick of Corey Stringer into the netting.
So an uncharacteristic play, a bit of a risky play cross ice there by the Dogs. They're just trying to break it out, and you see in the replay that they pass across into the high slot area, which is right exactly where the Snipers wanted it. So an interesting choice.
Face off here. One shot on by Sincata and a save there by Mack.
So the Snipers running Sincata and McMahon together again, which worked so well for them a couple of seasons ago. It's good to see that combination.
Puck passed out. Intercepted there. Snipers with the tie up there on the blue line. And now it's Warren with the puck here for the Dogs. Takes it in over the blue line. Pinned up. Goes back to his D partner there. And Sincata and McMahon play catch. Intercepted. It chipped out in front, but a sprawling Dogs player there. That was Joyce who fell down. And Sincata now has it on the far side. Rims that up off the wall. Intercepted by Joyce. Joyce with a shot. And blocked there by Dixon. Puck comes back to Leo. Leo looks for that stretch pass for Joyce. Stick lifted by Sincata, and that goes down the length of the ice.
And so far for this first little opening stanza of the game, it's been light on contact but high on intensity as Leo looks to play it back up the ice for the Dogs. This is a full contact league, so expect to see quite a different gameplay, and we will have our first icing and whistle of the game. So with regards to full contact, some of the differences that occur is it's obviously it's a much more physical game. But a defensive player has to go deep into the corners to pick up the puck, and when they do that, that's when they are exposed by a forward doing an aggressive forecheck. So defensive players are often big players, not necessarily to deliver the hits, but to survive the hits that they have no choice but to deal with. As the Dogs try and play it back in, but we have offside by Ryan Ruddle, I think, just got himself caught there offside. And so we will have a face-off just outside the attacking zone for the Dogs. The Snipers with a chance to break it out and see how they go. Webster's on the ice at the moment.
Yeah, here we go. So face-off won there by the Snipers. It's with Webster, but now the Dogs collected through Leo. Goes D over to Astafiev. Hit there by Luke Buchanan. And the Dogs eventually get it out, but only as far as the captain, Liam Webster, there for the Snipers. Picked up there by Fisher, dropped off, and Birchler now coming in on Astafiev. Astafiev tried to lay the body on Birchler, separated from the puck, and collected now here by Robertson. So the Dogs in their own zone, led through a longtime Dog defender, Robertson, who just drops that off for Vajasov. Looks in front for Raczynski. Nice poke check there by Webster. Is going to turn the Snipers the other way.
This combination between Vajasov and Burke is one which worked so well for the Dogs so many times, and it's a beautiful thing when it works well.
And here's Vajasov now, puck stolen. Snipers are going to come down the other way. It's Bradley Apps, who was taken first overall here in the draft, who had the puck there for the Snipers. He got that deep, and Robertson is chased there by Lazzarato. Walls will give it back to Robertson here behind their own net. And the Dogs now will get out Verjasov over to Burke. So Burke up 2-on-2. He's got Verjasov now just coming for support. He finds him. It comes over there for Raczynski, but not able to get a shot on. Looks to cycle it behind the net. He's watched there by the sniper defender, and out with it now is Peng. Collected Lazzarato there on the red line. He'll dump the puck in, and the snipers will go off for a change. Mackenzie Hill touches the puck and give it over to Wall. Intercepted there. It's McMahon with a shot and a save there by Hill.
An uncharacteristic leave there by Jamie Burke. He had plenty of space in the middle and elected to let the puck go past, and it went straight to the snipers.
Great battle there between Dixon and Verjasov, and the Dogs did get a stretch pass out, but the snipers are going to force it back into the Dog zone. Here comes Todd Cutter. Pins the Dogs defender there in the corner, looking for some support. It's 2-on-2, battling there, right in front of the Moat Mental Health Services sign. Out with it, there's Dixon, who's going to get it back to the point here for Sincata. Sincata walks around and gets separated from the puck. There's Webster with a shot, and that one just went wide. Robertson behind the net now, looks to corral it out. He's got Joyce open and finds him. Joyce with speed. It's a 2-on-1 if Webster doesn't get back, but he does. Joyce with a shot and a save off the shaft of the stick there of Tommy Forrest. Here's Cutter wearing number 19 here for the Snipers, giving it over to Dixon, who gives it over to his mate there in Gallagher. Gallagher on the backhand into Dixon, shot! Save there by Hill. A great scoring opportunity there for the Snipers as they're turning it on here against the Dogs. An errant pass is going to get collected there by Dave Barrett. He was picked up last season in the midseason draft by the Dogs, but now wearing blue, and a shot there by Buchanan goes wide.
Snipers with most of the run at the game at the moment. They've had a significant number of shots on the net. The scorer is not necessarily seeing them all. What we're seeing is a bit of dominance at the moment by the Snipers. They're playing very high intensity, making good passes.
So Buchanan has it, just chips that in the far corner. Barrett's going to go in and chase for the Snipers. He'll collect it there, being watched by Bennett, and Birchler comes out with it. He goes behind the net. He's got his appointment open, but curls away from Stringer. Gets it over to Buchanan now. Look to center it over there for McMahon, but just fanned on that pass.
Snipers, they're activating their D and coming right up high. They want to be mindful of that. They don't get caught out.
So Barrett now gets it over. A missed pass there, but first to it will be McMahon. Otherwise, the Dogs would be out and away.
Well, we do know that the Dogs are famous for their fast break attacks. If you've got the right players on the ice, Burke and Verjasov in particular, you know those two will absolutely punish you if they let you get behind. So the Snipers need to be particularly mindful. They're D confident, they're coming up forward, and they'll know that when the wrong players are on the ice, that they can't afford to do that.
Here's Apps, a nice move, cuts in front, takes a shot. Well done there, Mackenzie Hill with his foot against the net. Puck squirts out here. It's Peng that collects it, so it's been a lot of pressure here by the Snipers early on. It's Astafiev now looking just to drop that for Verjasov, but a miscue there is going to allow the Snipers to get in through Flack. Flack looks to center, and it comes into the slot, and Ryan Ruddle able to get it to the point, but not out. The captain, Webster, chips that down into the corner. Collected there by Flack. Passed in front, shot in there, saved by Hill, and collected by Astafiev, who gets it out to Fisher. Puck now over the blue line. It's 4 Dogs deep. It's a 2-on-1 here against Webster. Verjasov. Webster with the stick. Back to Verjasov, and a kick save there by Forrest.
Beautiful piece of play there by Webster. He saw the threat, and he was back in that high slot position and tied it up very nicely.
He's like a wet blanket out there. You can see is the importance of him having them back on defense, doing well to snuff out any opportunities here by the Dogs. Dixon collects a hit. Now Webster pinching forward. Look to center it off the back skate there of Burke, but Cutter now has it, gets it across over to Webster and misses him. And here we go. It's a 2-on-1. It's Raczynski and Burke. Burke with it just misses that and collected there by Verjasov. Verjasov now takes it deep, goes behind the net, gets it over to Raczynski. Raczynski looked to just make the move there to get around the sniper defender. Now he's got some time and space. Tried to center it there for Verjasov, but that was intercepted nicely by Sincata.
Sincata did a beautiful job in the back check when he was on that 2-on-1. You could see him trying to coordinate the other back check coming back with him, and he made sure that he just cut off Jamie Burke's line and didn't give him the passing option to Verjasov. Really nice play, Sincata.
Intercepted here by Burke. He's watched here by Gallagher, but chips it up over to Verjasov. Nice job there by McMahon just to stop that up, and it's going to be forced back into the neutral zone. And a nice pass over to Raczynski with a fake shot. Gets that around McDowell, and stolen here by Cutter. And the Snipers are down the other way, 2-on-2, as Cutter decides to peel off for a change.
Raczynski there was looking for that combination with Berkey. They haven't played together very much by the look of it. Just a couple of little things that will get better throughout the game as we see
Joyce
Kahu
come
Joyce
down
on for the first time.
And if you remember last season, Kyle Joyce scored the first goal of the season, and it was Michigan from behind the net.
Sneaky Michigan indeed, and I don't think he repeated it, but it was pretty exciting first game up.
So there he was, taking a shot that just goes out into the corner. It's going to be collected by the bearded beauty, McMahon. Now with it is Corey Stringer. You know he can turn on the Jets. Graham just loses that puck, and the puck now comes back into the dog zone, and first one back is big bad Ryan Bennett. He'll corral it behind his own net, looking for a pass, just drops it there for Stringer, who will wind up and use his speed. Now up to Bennett, who will cross over the red line and dump that deep for Graham to give chase. Nice job there. It's collected by Knox, centered, and a great stick there by Sincata will spring the snipers the other way, and here's Buchanan. Buchanan with Peng, drops it there. A stick lift by Knox, but it comes back to Sincata with a shot now, and a great save there by Hill, and the rebound pops into the high slot, but the Dogs collect it. Now here's Ruddle, who'll just take a little bouncer in on net. A shot there by Knox, swing and a miss. And Lazzarato now will get it the other way. And here comes Apps. So first overall pick takes a shot. And a great save by Mackenzie Hill, who closed the pads.
Dogs lucky to get away with that in that instance. The D was caught up high. That was making Masterfif just caught a little high trying to challenge. And Apps got behind him and had a great number one scoring opportunity. Just couldn't quite convert.
Stafiev now will take that in the offensive zone, but a great poke check there by Liam Webster breaks that one up. I don't know how many times I've said that today already, and we're only halfway through the first period.
A scoreless first period so far. 3 shots to the Dogs, 6 to the Snipers.
Knox now regroups that over to Stafiev. Ruddle's calling for it in front. Forrest is down and pinned up against that post, and he covers up, as there were 3 opportunities there on the doorstep that couldn't get past the young sniper netminder.
This is our first stoppage for quite some time. That's been a good block of continuous play. Very exciting, very fast. So let's look at the lineup that's going out on the ice at the moment. The play being brought up at the moment for the Dogs just while they're organising that. Let's come off its mooring. We've got Birkin, Vajasov, and Rachinsky on the ice. Let's see if they can create a scoring opportunity. But look also for the breakout from the Snipers. If they can get going quickly and get behind the D.
So that's Webster now gets it over to Gallagher, over to Dixon. He's got Gallagher, back to Gallagher. Gallagher with a shot. He scores! Gallagher with the goal after a pretty passing play with his buddy, Justin Dixon. And the Snipers are up 1-0 here in the first game of the Winter Pro League.
Now what you won't see from the replay, because it won't go back far enough, is that actually came from the play from the defensive zone face-off. It's such an incredibly effective scoring opportunity. If you can get the puck through and get your wingers moving quickly on the drop of the puck, it creates that momentum. The Dogs D were caught up high looking to score the goal. They get a little bit complacent. Before you know it, there's 3 Snipers and there's a goal.
Logan Gallagher and Justin Dixon, great friends, and what better center could you have to help you out than Todd Cutter, the industrious worker? And they start the scoring here for the Snipers, up 1-0 against the Dogs.
So,
which
I can tell you, I'll be using that video of that little play then to show my C2 players. This is why the defensive zone face-off is actually a fantastic scoring chance.
So here we are. Cutter now wins the face-off cleanly back to Sincata. Now comes up to Dixon. Dixon over the red line, now takes it into the offensive zone, drops it for Cutter, tried to chip that over to Gallagher, but collected by Sincata as he tried to go back to Dixon. The Dogs down by 1 now, regrouping in their own zone. Vadim Verjasov with speed gets it over to Rachinsky. Rachinsky back to Verjasov. Verjasov stops up, but a great stick there by Gallagher on the back check. So Gallagher with the first goal of the Summer Pro League. Snipers up 1-0 here with 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first. It's Rachinsky with a move, takes it to his backhand, turns into the corner. He's got Robertson, who was calling for it, but here come the youngsters again. David Barrett now has it with Gallagher chasing the net. Barrett looks to just put it on in the rebound. He scores! Logan Gallagher doubles it up, and he scores his second in a matter of minutes. What a shift by the young Sniper scorer.
We'll see this on the replay. It's the patience of that first shot, just waiting for Mackenzie Hill to commit, go down on his pads, and just firing it on the pads and getting that beautiful juicy rebound. And who's there to take advantage of it? Another Sniper, and Gallagher gets his second. Just a patient attack there. The Sniper's just overwhelming the Dogs a little bit in defence.
So a great shift by Logan Gallagher, a fan favorite here at IceHQ, and the Snipers have sprung out to a 2-0 lead, which is something that the Dogs are not used to, playing from behind. Shot there by Graham, and a great save there by Tommy Forrest. Graham looks to go back to Stringer. Great poke check there by Buchanan, but an even better job there by Stringer to keep that in. Now the puck does eventually get out, and it's Bennett who will just rim it around over for Warren. Warren, who captained the Bruins last year, now wearing the Dogs colors for the first time. Stringer collects it, sends it up to Joyce. Joyce, nice little pass there, but stolen by Buchanan. And here comes Davey Baird, who had the shot on that last goal that was an assist on Gallagher. And here comes Graham. So Graham in the offensive zone takes a shot, kick save there by Forrest, and the rebound gloved by the netminder in blue.
So what we're seeing here, Gossi, we're seeing a lot of the snipers getting transitional goals. They're getting quick transitions from defence. They're just catching the Dogs' defence up a little high. The Dogs' D not moving quite as quick as they need to, and their forwards not owning that neutral zone on the back check and putting pressure on. And as a result, the snipers are getting past. Will they do it again from this face-off? Not this time.
Here's Liam Webster in his own zone, just sends it up to Lazzarato, and he comes in with speed. He does have Flack with him if he needs him. It takes a shot, and a great blocking arm save there by Hill. Puck behind the net now. It's rimmed up on the wall. It's going to be kept in by Sincata. Chips it down, left by Flack, allowing Apps to go down behind. Liam Webster activates off the point, pins it up there, but it's picked up by Astafiev, who springs Ruddle. Ruddle in on Sincata. Sincata, nice job there, but can't get it past Knox. Held up there, Knox, look to center, and it's going to come out. Shot, save, pads down, puck's loose. But the whistle goes, and the Snipers live to see another day.
We're just under 2 minutes now to play non-stop time, so by the time this all gets sorted out, we'll be down about 90 seconds.
Look at this on the CCM all-out replay. What a great job by Tommy Forrest. He made the pad save, but was smart enough to pin that skate up against the post, and prevented the Dogs from pushing it in, as they still remain 2-0 game here, 10 shots apiece.
The Dogs D still creeping in a lot on those initial face-offs, giving the Snipers that chance to get behind them if they do. But this time the Dogs keep possession from the face-off and have an opportunity.
So Knox now in the far side corner, regroups over to the other side, and it will be kept in there by Freight Ray. Behind the net now is Liam Webster. He evades the forecheck there, but can only get it as far as the Dogs D. They're forced deep into their own zone. It's Raymond Khalil. He'll just go D to Astafiev. Maxim Astafiev now looks to center. Intercepted there by Webster, who looked for a streaking cutter. And we can see that great scoring line back starting to come off the bench here for the Snipers. And a shot there by the captain goes wide. Nice steal there by the forecheckers. And it's now collected by Apps. Apps looking to go back to Flack, but covered up there by Hill.
So the Dogs at the moment, they've just been a little bit sloppy on their breakouts. They've given away a couple of cross-ice passes that they haven't been able to make connections with. I think they'd be a little bit disappointed with that at the moment. So, Gossi, they're going to need to tidy that up a bit to give themselves a better chance. Stop giving away scoring opportunities in their own zone.
So here's Webster. Wines takes a shot. That one goes wide. McMahon pinches. McMahon goes behind the net. It's now Cutter looking to center it. It's the scoring line out here for the Snipers. Gallagher's back out there with Dixon and Cutter. A streaking Verjasov, can't find them though, as Burke goes into the center and the puck comes loose, but shoveled into the corner. Webster now will just leave that behind them. Verjasov with a nice pass over to Burke there, but they couldn't put the puck in the net. And the first period will end 2-0 after 2 goals scored by Logan Gallagher. Puts the Snipers up.
Both of those goals were scored in rapid transition and just overwhelming numbers by the Snipers coming down. And the Dogs just getting caught a little high. And their D not reading the play quite quick enough. It's an adaptation to a quite high-speed game. And the Snipers doing an excellent job of owning the space in defence and then getting those breakaways quickly. And if you can get that transitional play, it does create great scoring opportunities. And as we have seen, both of them, 2 very good plays by Gallagher from Dixon and Webster, and then from Barrett and Dixon as well. So just 2 points each to Gallagher and Dixon, 1 to Webster and 1 to Barrett. And at the end of the first, as you say, Gossi, it's 2 goals, 2-0. We'll be having a break now for an ice cut. One of the new things about the series this time around is there's an ice cut between each game, and that will take us about 10 minutes. So we expect to be back with you at 8:05. Until then, sit tight.
Confidence. Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet,
flex your stick, or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
the ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet,
flex your stick, or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right. right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
when you feel your best.
You play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
it's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
when you feel your best.
You play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
Welcome back to the IceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia for the second period of the round one of the IceHQ Pro Summer League here, Pro League for Summer 2023-24 between the Snipers and the Dogs. And Gossie, we've seen a pretty exciting first period. Welcome back to full contact men's hockey. And 2 goals in the first to Logan Gallagher for the Snipers, both of them as transitional goals or counter-attacks or breakaways, however you want to put it. Yeah. Gossie, what do you reckon the coaches have been saying?
Well, I think, Drew Coffray there for the Snipers, he would have had a game plan. Let's start on time. Let's put some pressure on the Dogs, and they've executed it perfectly. They just want to keep doing what they're doing. You look to Lefkowitz, their team have had some flashes, but I think as you and I were talking offline, a few maybe plays that just didn't really connect, maybe one too many passes, maybe just try to get the puck on net.
Just a little bit too keen to play cross ice out of their defensive zone as well, and they got picked off a few times there and paid for it, but luckily not with goals. The
stars of that period, definitely Logan Gallagher, who's now actually on a 3-game goal-scoring streak dating back to the last 2 games of last season, and obviously Liam Webster doing outstanding work on the back end here for the Snipers as he now collects it in his own zone.
Even just from that initial play, you could see that very risky cross-ice pass for the Dogs with both the D up high. No one
There's an interception there and a block by Webster. And the Dogs have always been a high-risk, high-reward team, but it just doesn't seem to be working in their favor so far early in this game. But there's still 2 periods left to go, and they do have it in the offensive zone now, although Peng will get that up only as far as Joyce. So back to Peng. He'll go behind that nice cross pass, intercepted there by Bennett, dropped over there for Joyce. Joyce will wind, take a shot, and a kick save there by Forrest to the point. Bennett chips it down there for Graham, who looked to center it and intercepted there by Apps. So Apps chips that up there for Flack. Flack now with a nifty move, gets it on the backhand, looked to center it there for Lazzarato, but now collected here by Graham for the Dogs.
Lazzarato was in great position for that shot too, if it was connected.
Puck back, and it is an icing. And one thing you can see on the Snipers, in the third installment of this competition, we've seen this defensive pairing of McMahon and Sincata really grow into their own, right? You remember going back 2 seasons ago, Sincata, relatively long, learning to go there. But now he is a star in this competition and very poised with the puck. And, obviously supported by one of the great Australian ice hockey players there in Michael McMahon.
So just a little bit of discussion about the icing call. You're not allowed to get a change. So if you're wondering why the Snipers are being addressed at the moment, they tried to get a change on the icing call, and you're not allowed to do that. If you're on the ice when the icing is made, you're required to stay on. Keeps more defensive pressure on them.
So face-off won by the Dogs. It comes back to Robertson, who takes a shot right into the breadbasket of Tommy Forrest, and the Snipers now will be able to get that change as Flack goes off to the bench, and our 2-goal man, Logan Gallagher, steps back onto the sheet.
Interesting to see the face-off now between Cutter and Vajasov. And Burke looking to get in and crash the net.
So puck dropped. It comes right to Burke. Burke holds it up. He's being watched by Cutter, who pins him there, but he's able to squeeze by and get it down to Vajasov. Vajasov in the corner, twisting and turning. Gets around Cutter there and looked to go cross-ice, but intercepted here by Dixon. He's supported here by Gallagher, who gives it right back to Dixon. Back to Gallagher. Cutter going to the net, but the Dogs intercept, and it goes down the other way. Great job by Cincata there, able to get back, and here come the Dogs now. Cincata, though, clears it out, and only as far as Lockie Walls.
So I think the Dogs are just trying to be a little bit too fancy at the moment. They'll need to simplify their game. Just get those basics right until they find their rhythm.
So here it is now. Robertson just leaves it up there for Burke. He kicks it over to his stick. He's being watched here by Dixon and chips it over to Vajasov. Vajasov, nice little toe drag, chip, block, rebound, save by Forrest. Oh my, what a save by the goaltender there on the second effort by Vajasov.
You can see the silky hands of Vajasov. It's making it very hard to read, but in the end, Forrest had his pads down and no gap.
So Walls just gets rubbed out there by Dixon. It's with Vajasov now, goes to Burke. Burke's behind the net, chips it in front, shot on, save, scores! Raczynski for the Dogs scores on a beautiful feed from behind the net by Jamie Burke, and the Dogs have now halved the deficit as they're down 2-1 here in the second period.
See, they just the Snipers weren't really in a position to put much pressure on Burke, and they just gave them a little bit of time. He had time to have a bit of a look around, time for the Dogs to get sorted, and Raczynski was just sitting in a perfect spot. Not much Tommy Forrest could do about that. It was a really nice little shot in. Perhaps if the Snipers' D were just a bit more in his face, but
you saw that on the CCM All-Out replay as well. It did touch the glove of Tommy Forrest, but unfortunately he couldn't glove it, and it did go into the back of the net. So puck now deep in the zone. The Dogs have it through Knox. He chips it back to the point to Astafiev. Watched by Buchanan, but recycles that back behind the net. Peng for the Snipers is going to chip that up over for Birchler, and the puck now goes into the corner. You can hear the announcer calling the goal. It's his first in the Pro League for Vladislav Raczynski, the new dog here. Puck goes right off the leg there of the linesman, and that looks like it stung.
And if the saying every dog has his day is true, then Raczynski's had his first day already on his first day.
And here comes Knox over the line. Ruddle's crashing the net. Look to find him. It's going to drop there for Fisher. Shoots, and that one just goes wide. Fisher picks up his own rebound. He's in the corner. Looks to go cross ice for Bennett. Bennett with a shot on kick save there by Forrest as that goes into the corner. Fisher now watched by Flack or McDowell, and the puck's pinned up there behind the net. Collected here by Webster, stick handling in a phone booth there, but not able to get past the stick of Ruddle. Puck sent back behind the net. McDowell will collect it now and chip that up there for Buchanan, and Ruddle keeps it in. Intercepted, though, by the captain, Liam Webster, and he springs out, but a great stick by Ruddle to break up that opportunity. Puck now goes in, and Ruddle takes a bit of a tumble. Forrest is out, and he'll just chip that over there for Apps. Apps being watched there by Jordan Warren, and support comes in the form of Graham. Graham wrapping it around. It's out in the slot, but Liam Webster's there to mop up. Apps now on the half wall, chips that into center ice. It's intercepted by Stringer, who was looking to find Warren, and that's going to go down deep into the sniper zone. McDowell rims it up, stolen there by Graham. Graham fanned on that shot after a stick check there by Flack, and now he goes down the other way. Flack over to Apps. Apps in the corner, has it on his backhand, just waits up, chips it there back to Flack. Apps now with it. It's stolen there by Stringer and rimmed around and out into the offense. There's no shot there from the slot. Rebound is loose, but collected by Joyce, who's able to chip that out down, but not far enough for icing. Warren will get there first. He gets hit hard by Sincata. Great hit there as he looks and checks the number, Jordan Warren.
You could just see Sincata on his way back. He just timed that. He let the dogs forward get in front of him and then just rode him into the boards at the right time. Nice play there,
Lazzarato with a shot right into the pads there of Hill, who covers up as he wants a face-off to just let his team regroup.
11.5 minutes to go in the second. 2-1 now. The Dogs striking back a little earlier. I've got to say, Gossi, I think they've simplified the game a little bit. They're trying to do a little bit less of the fancy stuff, just getting those basic connections and making sure they've got defence and forwards getting back quickly. And I think they're adjusted to the speed.
The intensity is there as well as Sincata laid a big hit on Warren, and you heard Berkey there chirping at McMahon a bit, and now Raczynski looking to get it over to Burke, but just put it behind him, and here comes Gallagher the other way, 3-on-3. Gallagher on the right wing, chips it over there for Dixon. Dixon back over to Cutter. Cutter on the backhand shot, scores! They do it again! This line is unstoppable. Todd Cutter from a beautiful feed, his third assist of the game from Dixon, and the Snipers now up 3-1.
Watch the defensive lapse there in that instance. Both of the Dogs have gone across to the puck carrier, which has opened up the extra man for that pass in, and Cutter in the right place to make no mistake and bury the puck. Didn't give Mackenzie Hill much of an option, but you can see if you get a chance to watch that from above a bit further out, the Dogs all went across to the puck carrier, just got a little bit blindsided by it, and that opened up that chance.
This line for the Snipers getting all the offense. Logan Gallagher now up to 2 goals and an assist, and 3 great dishes by Justin Dixon, up to 3 apples, and Todd Cutter now gets on the score sheet with a goal. But here comes Verjasov looking to answer right back. A pass in front, intercepted nicely by Cutter, and that's going to spring Dixon the other way. He's being chased by Berkey, and he does a great job there just to get the puck deep. Walls will send it over to Robertson, who just stops up and regroups and sends it back to his D partner there in Walls. Nice stretch pass there, collects, finds Burke. Burke in, gets it over to Verjasov, but what a poke check by the captain, Liam Webster, to block that scoring opportunity as he knocked the puck right off the stick of Verjasov.
Beautiful example there of a D coming back down the middle and just owning that space. It cut off the passing lane, and that's perfect defensive play there by Liam.
And here he is now with a shot there off the shoulder of Hill, but it is called offside there.
I've got a question for you, Gossi. If you're captaining this team, what do you say about having the luxury of having Apps and Liam Webster on the same team on the same ice at the same time wearing the same jersey?
Yeah,
it's a hell of a lot of power.
Absolutely unreal. This Sniper team looking good, balanced 3-line attack. And the score line is definitely showing it. Shots 17 for the Dogs, 14 to the Snipers. But the Snipers 3-1 here with 9 minutes remaining in the second period. Puck's now with Knox as he just chips that off the wall and into the bench.
You've also got to say, too, I think the Dogs have been a little bit unlucky. That previous burst by Burke. Burke did actually manage to get behind the Snipers' defence on a stretch, and it was a good opportunity. And they're just not quite able to get that pass across to Vajasov, who was streaking in. But that was Webster just taking away the line. So beautiful play, Webster. But the Dogs have shown some promise in this period.
So here we are, face-off 1. It comes back to the point. It's McMahon now, takes a shot, just goes wide behind the net, and Buchanan's going to chase in on Khalil. Khalil going to lose that out. It's going to come back behind the net. It's now with Flack, who gets it in front. It comes out to Barrett. Barrett just takes a shot, but that one goes wide. Buchanan now in the far side corner, regroups that back down to Birchler. Ruddle now chips that, but can't get it out as it goes only as far as Sincata. Davey Barrett now with it in the high slot, takes a shot, and that one goes high and wide, forcing them to regroup. So back to Birchler. Birchler getting checked there by Ruddle. Khalil in there for support, but only as far as Chinkata. Chinkata back down to the far side, walking out as the Snipers. And Birchler just regroups that back for Davey Barrett. Back to Birchler, and a great stick lift there by Astafiev. Broke up that play, and now he comes the other way. Stretch pass, looking over for Fisher. Great step up there by McMahon as he gets rubbed out there by Knox. As both teams go for changes, it's Astafiev with the stretch pass out here for Graham. And that one just offside as Jordan Warren just a little too eager to get into that scoring lane.
Looks almost like it might have been part of the change too. A bit difficult to see from where we are. We're a little bit distracted, but it might have been that it was a change for the Dogs that cost them that offside. I'm not sure if any of the players actively involved in the rush were caught, but one of the players coming off the bench was offside when the puck crossed. You've got to be really mindful of that when you make your changes.
There's Bennett getting it over there for Graham. He just rims that around. He's going to ask Warren to collect it, and he just leaves it there for Joyce. So Kahu Joyce now behind over to Graham. Look to center it, and just on the side of the net there, Liam Webster able to collect that loose puck. It's stolen here by Joyce. He recycles that down for Warren, being watched there by Flack. Warren on his forehand, gets it back to Stringer, watched by Lazzarato, but able to win that and get it deep. And the Snipers now will get it out, and it's one-on-one, Lazzarato on Bennett. And Apps is chasing there, and he gets it, takes a shot, and a great blocking arm save there by Hill. Puck now back to the point. Webster with a knuckle puck there off the stick of the Dogs, and the face-off will come in the offensive zone here for the Snipers, just to the right of Mackenzie Hill.
So that attacking opportunity there, another one where the Snipers have got past the Dogs' defence. They've had another two-on-one situation, and the Dogs are pretty lucky to get away with that one, Gossie.
That they are.
Let's see if they can turn this one into a counter-attack and get down the other end and get back on the board again.
A lot of back-and-forth hockey so far, and the Dogs have it now with Troy Robertson. Stretch pass goes down the length of the ice, and first back will be McDowell, and we will have another face-off down in the Dog zone.
Let's see how they set up and see if the Snipers D get caught. This was early on. The first goal was scored from a defensive face-off win by the Snipers. Can the Dogs return the favour and get themselves back to a one-goal game? 3-1 at the moment in favour of the Snipers. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the second.
And on the ice is this goal-scoring line here for the Snipers. We got Cutter back out there with Dixon and Gallagher, taking part in all 3 goals so far tonight for the Snipers. Now here's Verjasov in the offensive zone here for the Dogs. Nice move to get around Cutter. He's got it on his forehand. Oh, a nice fake pass, trying to dodge Dixon, but Dixon stayed with him. Burke has it behind the net now. Gets it from Raczynski. He scores! His second of the game as he points to the crowd. And just like goal number 1, Berkey finds Raczynski, and he goes top shelf.
That is twice they've done almost identical play, but just on opposite sides of the net. Berkey getting that puck after some really nice cycling work there. Vajasov finding his way through an incredible amount of traffic with that puck magnetically stuck to his stick. Created the opportunity. Berkey got behind the net, looked for an option to pass. Raczynski was there. Bang, one time, a goal. Beautiful play.
Well, it's a 2-line hockey game. It's all the points for the Cutter, Dixon, Gallagher line, and the same can be said for Burke, Verjasov, and Raczynski. Shot deflected there into the corner. And the puck now kept in this here by Davey Barrett, the former Dog.
I think Raczynski was selected very high up too by the Dogs, and you can see why.
Yeah, Barrett just recycles that over to the far side there for Buchanan. Birchler will go in on Verjasov, but Verjasov able to get it as far to his teammate there in Burke. So Dogs going back to this star line for them. It's been the only one really able to generate any offense so far in this game. Comes back there, shot there by Webster, and that one just goes wide. Kept in nicely there by Chinkata, able to get it there for Barrett. Barrett still with it. Goes to center, shot, saved there by Hill, as Gavin Birchler was high in the slot looking for a goal. Puck goes down the length of the ice, and first back will be Webster, and the Dogs will not be allowed to change as this line's been on the ice for quite some time.
They're trying to sneak off, but the linesman well and truly alert for that, saying, you stay on the ice, sunshine, you've got another shift to do. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second. It's a one-goal game, 3 to the Snipers, 2 to the Dogs. Shots on the net very even. At the moment, it's 19-16 in favour of the Dogs.
Face off one forward there. It's kicked out there by the Dogs, and Verjasov will circle back into his own corner and evades the check there of Flack. Stretch pass intercepted there by Sinkata, but back behind the net there is Verjasov. He's being watched by Flack. Flack just rubs him out. Burke comes in for support, but that puck stolen there by Lazzarato. Comes back to Chinkata. Chinkata the shot saved there by Hill. Pinch here by Webster, and a great stick is going to get that down to Lazzarato. He's got Apps in front of the net, but a great stick by Walls is going to spring the Dogs the other way. And here comes Ryan Ruddle. Waits, pass over to Raczynski. Raczynski hooked there by Webster, which probably stopped a sure hat trick goal there for Vladislav Raczynski. But Webster is going to be going to the box for the first penalty, and he'll be sitting for 2 or less.
You can see him interfering with Berkey's stick on the way down. He could see the threat there, and he had to do something. Berkey was just a little bit quicker than Lamb and had a little bit of a half a metre in front of him, and so Lamb was lifting the stick and holding him back, whether or not it was a hook or not. But in the end, he brought Berkey down, and he will do too. As you say, it's the first penalty kill for the Snipers, first power play for the Dogs.
It's our first jet speed power play here for the Reservoir Dogs as they look to get back in this game. Only 1 goal back here with just under 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. They'd love to go to the last break all square. Puck's deep, and that will be icing and sent down the other way, which is in the favor of the Snipers here with
runs the clock down.
Run time.
It runs the clock down, so if you're not quite sure what's going on, the power play runs for 2 minutes, which time Len Webster has to sit in the box, and we're not running stop time at the moment in the second period, so this icing call by the Dogs takes 20 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and if you look here on the clock, it's matching times for the power play and the period clock. So the Dogs will have to score before the end of the period if they hope to get one on the power play. Here's Joyce. He leaves that there for Burke. Burke crosses the red line, still with it, winds, takes a shot, saved by Forrest, and it goes up and over the net and collected by Peng. Hits the skate there of Knox, but he's able to give it down to Berkey. Comes back there for Graham, who fans on it, and it nearly works as Joyce nearly deflected that past the outstretched pad of Tommy Forrest.
And the Snipers clear the puck all the way back down the other end, which buys them time. Have a look at the setup that the Snipers are running. They've got 2 back deep in their defence.
And here comes Corey Stringer. You know, he likes the extra space. He's got the speed. Takes it wide and drops it there for Raczynski. He's got 2 goals tonight. Gives it back to Verjasov. You know he's got some silky mitts. Over to Burke, but a great poke check there by Cutter. Forces Burke back, and Cutter's going to try his best to get him away, but here comes Burke with 15 seconds remaining. Last chance saloon here for the Dogs. Back there for Robertson. Robertson shot, and that rings off the post. Warren back for Burke. Burke out in front, and that goes off the stick of McMahon into the corner. 3 seconds remaining. It's with Raczynski. Turns, pass across, and a shot there by Verjasov. Stopped by Forrest, but I'm not sure it would have counted if it went in the net.
Just a touch after the siren, I think there, Gossie. At the end of the second, we'll be having a cut now, which will take us out for another 10 minutes. The score in an absolute thriller here in round 1 of this first game for the season, and it is Snipers 3, CCM Dogs 2. A much better period there for the Dogs. They got a bit more organised. They weren't getting caught on fast breaks against them. And as you saw, Berkey and Raczynski scored combined twice with almost an identical or a mirror image move with a pass from Gretzky's office out to the player, Raczynski, who was just waiting to go bang. You can see why Raczynski was number 1 pick for the Dogs. Very potent in attack, and they've certainly tidied up their defence as well. But the Snipers got one as well, and they managed to get Toddy Cutter again with Dixon and Gallagher. So those young guys, Dixon and Gallagher, are doing extraordinarily well. They've got almost all all the points for the Snipers. But the Snipers have had some great back-checking efforts. There's been a number of good opportunities they've had, and you can see Liam Webster, just with that experience and the ability to read the game. He moves back early, owns the line across the middle, and if you get a chance to wind back on these videos, just have a look at the attacking chances that they've had. He just does so incredibly well. But we'll wind up this one, and we'll be back with you at 8:35, I think, for the third period.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art.
Down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
it's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level. When you feel your best,
you play your best.
because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
it's the only way. The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
You play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
The smallest details to feel just right. So when you lace up your skates, put on your helmet,
Flex your stick.
or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does. And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear.
And feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
Who knows where your best will take you?
Welcome back to the IceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia for the IceHQ Pro League Summer 23-24, where we are being treated to an absolute cracker of a game as our first game. Gossie, the boys are back in town. It is 3 goals to the Snipers, 2 to the Dogs. First period was all Snipers. They had the run of the game. The Dogs were on the heels and giving up silly opportunities and getting caught high. And the Snipers with 2 beautiful transitional goals, both to Logan Gallagher. But in the second, Berkey found space behind the net twice to give Raczynski the opportunity to tickle the twine, and he did that on 2 occasions. Burke and Vajasov in both cases getting the assists. Toddy Cutter didn't make it all the Dogs' way. He got one back for the Snipers with another breakaway transitional goal. The Dogs' defence occasionally getting caught high and being exposed, and they've been a little bit vulnerable to that. But I think they would have been discussing that during the break. They've had their second break now, and first breaks, they've certainly a lot less silly mistakes in that second period by the Dogs, not letting the Snipers get behind them anything like as much. A couple of really good opportunities as well on the breakaway, and it was only the desperate back check and incredibly smart tactical play by Liam Webster for the Snipers that prevented at least another 2 A-grade scoring opportunities for the Dogs, with Burke and Vajasov combining with passes across the net. But wouldn't you know it, there was Liam Webster's stick breaking it up.
If the game plan for the Snipers was to get under the skin of the Dogs, I think it's working,
It's working.
right? You can see a lot of frustrated faces on that Dogs bench. And even after that second period, we saw Jordan Warren and Jamie Burke talking to the officials a little bit. So, you know, Austin Lefkowitz has his work cut out for him here in his first game coaching the Dogs. He's got to calm the team down, just get them back to getting that puck, that deep cycle that seems to be working behind the net, Gretzky's office, and the Snipers just got to keep doing what they're doing, right?
They've done that twice, but what they haven't been able to do is get past that defensive lineup that the Snipers have done so well. And both of those goals, good ones, but they haven't had any transitional breaks. They haven't been able to create any 1-on-2s, or at least none with not with great success so far, and that's been because the Snipers' defence has been alert to it. They know that Vajasov and Burke, when they get ahead of steam up, are very, very quick and love that transitional goal. And the Snipers have done a great job of making sure that it doesn't happen. The luxury of Liam Webster playing back in D for you, along with Michael McMahon, Lockie Sincotta and co, has been superb for them. Occasionally the Dogs' defence caught high, caught a little bit trapped, but I think they've had a pretty good discussion about it and not making that mistake again. If they do make it in the third, the Snipers will wrap it up, but we'll see how this third period pans out. We'll know in 18 minutes.
3-2, it's a 1-goal game, 18 minutes is what separates both these teams from a victory, and the face-offs won there by the Snipers, forcing Peng back into his own zone. Peng will take it behind the net, just regroup that over there for Flack. It's intercepted, though, there by the Dogs. It goes over to Burke. Burke with a shot, fanned on that one. Might have been off the stick there of Peng, who now gets it up there for Lazzarato. Flack with speed over the blue line now, takes it to his backhand, looks to cut in front, takes a shot, but off the side netting there. Bennett.
Dogs very slow getting back there with their forwards not back checking at all. 3-on-2 opportunity for the Snipers. Dogs forwards not back checking.
Here's Webster who intercept that one. He's going to just drop that over there for Apps, who takes that in. He's holding off Stringer and just looks for the reverse hit. It's collected here by Vajasov, who niftily gets that over there for Raczynski as they play catch. Raczynski on 2 goals right here over the blue line, gets over to Burke. Burke waits, takes a shot, saved by Forrest and batted out of the air by the glove of Webster. Shot there by the Dogs, goes deep far into the corner. Raczynski's going to get it back to Burke. Burke with a move, trying to get past Lazzarato, and he does. Cuts into the slot, shot wide. Puck now back on the point, activating there. Shot blocked. over to the point. It's going to be kept in by Burke as he skates into the high slot area. Winds, looks for a tip, save, scores! Raczynski gets the hat trick as the second overall pick in the draft puts 3 past Tom Forrest and ties the game here for the Dogs.
A much better bit of play there after that early bit of laxness from the Dogs forwards. They all got into that attack with a fair bit of force and managed to own the neutral zone. And that was another Burke to Raczynski situation. I think Burke got the original shot away. Nice juicy rebound.
Perfect example of if you don't got anything, throw it along the ice at the goaltender. Hard to make a save there by Forrest that doesn't go into a scoring opportunity. And this is exactly the start the Dogs would have wanted. Tied up here early in the third period. And now it's the Snipers line here that has their 3 goals are forced out to see if they can answer. Stretch pass over to Joyce as he comes into the offensive zone. He winds, takes a shot off the shoulder there of Forrest, or off the mask actually, as he's forced to just check his helmet. As I've had a couple of those happen to me, just off the side strap, and you got to have that on because you don't want your helmet flying off with those pucks flying towards you.
The rule there is that if the goalie has an equipment issue like that, then the game will stop. There's no timeout though, so not for this in particular. Both teams are allowed a 30-second timeout each. Neither team has used that yet, but a goalie equipment malfunction, for lack of a better expression, is not quite a clothing malfunction, but all the same, we're about to get underway now. Oh, not able to keep it in, the Dogs. And they'll have to go back with a aggressive forecheck now by Justin Dixon, putting a lot of pressure on them. So rim it out and
here they come. So here's Joyce now streaming through the neutral zone, gets around Cutter, watched by McMahon, who just forces him off the puck, and a nice poke check there by Sincata gets it up to the 2-goal man here for the Snipers. Gallagher with a shot on, blocked by Walls, and the puck does come down now with Robertson.
That time Dogs back in numbers. It was a 2-on-1 defensively for the Dogs, which is much better for them.
Graham wasn't able to handle that, and it's rimmed around by Sincata, but first to it will be Warren. Warren throws that on. There's a loose puck, but covered up by Forrest as that one came close.
I think we're going to have an absolutely thrilling third period here. Gossi 3-all with about 14 minutes to play.
Look at this on the CCM all-out replay. It was there for the taking, but Forrest got the big oven mitt on that one.
It's the old story, Gossi, get the shots on the net, get pucks up high, and see what happens. And that's what the Dogs are doing.
We've seen a big change from that, right? First half of the game, you know, trying to get that perfect shot. Now they're just looking for shots on and getting those rebounds, and it seems to work. Webster pinches there, and Barrett comes to help out. The puck now comes as far as Buchanan, who's being watched there by Fisher. Puck comes back to Webster, who just chips it up onto the neutral zone, and Ruddle able to pitch that forward over for Astafiev, but stolen by the captain of the Snipers there, Liam Webster. Webster on the backhand, cross ice over for Birchler. He's going to carry that in and drop it for Buchanan. Buchanan back to Birchler. Birchler with a shot. It's loose and batted out of the air there by Ruddle, and that's going to allow the Dogs to go the other way. Great job there by Ruddle as he chases that puck and gets it deep. He's being watched by Webster. Ruddle looking to center, and it clears through the slot, and now out there for the Snipers. Birchler across to Barrett. Barrett on the half wall. And stolen there by Astafiev. Buchanan now chases it behind the net. Knox just drops it back for Bennett. The Dogs will get out now through Astafiev as he backhands that up to Knox, over to Ruddle, and chip down deep as the Dogs finish their line change as their big line's coming out. Raczynski chasing McMahon. Raczynski, the 3-goal man here for the Dogs. Lazzarato chips that over to Flack. Raczynski comes back and regroups to his demon. It's Stringer off the skate there of Raczynski deep, and now Verjasov will chase McMahon. McMahon just holds up, takes it behind to the safety of his own net. He's being watched by Burke, and he's going to turn around and go the other way. Stolen here by Verjasov. Back to the point for Bennett. He chips that deep, and first to it's going to be Jamie Burke. So Burke for the Dogs, some sustained pressure here in the offense for the Dogs, big line. Burke with it on the backhand, just chips it behind the net, looking for Raczynski. Good job there by Peng. Comes out to Apps, who sends it up there for Lazzarato. Flack now on the forehand, brings it in, evades one check, a nice backhand, tries to drop it there for Apps, but stolen here by Burke as they're going to come down the other way. Burke's got Verjasov behind him. He makes one move, makes a save there by Forrest, and touched up by Webster, and he's going to go for his second penalty of the game. bringing out this power play here for the Dogs.
Dogs were a little bit lucky on that just previous counter move by the Snipers. Bennett went for a spectacular hit around about the top of the face-off circles, high end of the slot in defence for the Dogs, but missed, as is often the case in that area, and they did create an opportunity for the Snipers. A little bit lucky to get away with that, the Dogs, and now they have the power play. So they will have 2 minutes of numerical advantage over the Snipers. But watch out for shorties.
So here we are. McMahon clears that down the length of the ice, and out comes Hill. So it's our second jet speed power play here for the Reservoir Dogs as they're looking for their first lead of the game as they trailed 2-0 and 3-1, and now tied 3-3. And here's Raczynski with a shot, and that one goes high and wide. Gallagher gets there first, not able to get it past Burke, and Cincata now will get it out, but only as far as Robertson. Dogs regrouping, a stretch pass on Raczynski right on net, and passed over there for McMahon. McMahon chips it out. Nice job there. Hand-eye coordination by Robertson. He finds Warren, who'll cross the blue line now. So in the offensive zone, takes a shot, deflected wide, but collects his rebound. He regroups that behind the net for Raczynski. He's got Verjasov on the point and finds him. Verjasov walks the line. He's got Burke calling for it, and a great stick there by Gallagher. Stopped that pass, but it's collected by Warren for the Dogs. Back to Verjasov now. Verjasov watched there by Gallagher. Verjasov back down to Warren. Up top for Burke. Burke looking to a fake shot. A nice stick there and a rebound shot. Save Forrest. Puck's loose behind the net and collected by Warren. He's got Verjasov on the point, finds him. Robertson also available, but elects to go back to Warren. Goes deep into the corner there for Burke. Burke on the half wall now looking for Verjasov. Verjasov shot there. Burke looking for Robertson, who crept in, but a great stick there by the Snipers. Broke that up. Verjasov keeps it up on the point, but an errant pass now will get out, and this will allow the Snipers defenders to change. First off is Cincata. McMahon not able to change as he collects that puck. He'll go D to D over to McDowell. Plenty of space here. Looks over for Barrett, misses him, but goes down the length of the ice.
Just a few seconds to go on the penalty. About 3 or 4, and then it'll be back to full strength. They got a lot of sustained pressure in that power play, the Dogs, but didn't score.
And here's Graham looking to go through, but Davey Barrett collects it. Obviously not sure there of the power play ending, but the Dogs now go 0 for 2, as that was a glorious opportunity to take the lead, and they had plenty of pressure, but just weren't able to find the back of the net.
So the Snipers now, their penalty kill unit still stuck on the ice. They couldn't get a change because they iced it. They might have perhaps not realised that the penalty was over. They flung the puck all the way down the other end, but they were brought back for an icing. So there'll be some tied legs there for the Snipers. Good opportunity for the Dogs.
Big face-off for Davey Barrett up against Kahu Joyce. Joyce wins it. It's back to Bennett. Over to Stringer, who takes a shot. It goes off, knock, shot on, and that just goes wide. It's now behind the net. Stolen by Webster, who has the freshest legs of all there for the Snipers, and he gets that down the length of the ice, but it will be an icing.
Another icing for the Snipers, and they're going to get players dragged back on. Craig Armstrong Frey saying, no, come back on the ice, please, boys. Michael McMahon, you cannot get on the ice just yet. See Liam Webster dragged back on. They tried to get a sneaky change, but they couldn't do it. So there'll be now some tied legs. You saw the Dogs with some good early opportunities on that first face-off. Let's see if they can do it again from the second.
Austin Lefkowitz electing to go with his big line, trying to catch these guys tired, and it is stolen by Burke now. Burke stick handling, it comes out, it's kept in there by Stringer. Nice move to evade Buchanan, a shot on, save there by Forrest. Cleared out by McDowell, and this will allow a change for some players if need be, and off goes McDowell. Verjasov in his own zone, Raczynski's calling for it, and he just misses him. And Liam Webster now will collect it in his own zone and allow the rest of his teammates to change. Puck shot deep down in the Dog zone. 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the third period of a 3-all draw. Webster steals that one and just bounces off his stick as Stringer able to get the puck out of the zone now. Big hit by Apps on Stringer as Stringer took a number. And the puck now deep here for the Dogs. It comes out to Raczynski. Shot and a save there by Forrest. Flack chips that into the neutral zone. Walls is going to get there first and just chip that up to Burke. Burke, watched by Lazzarato, evades that check and decides to flip it over to his good mate, Verjasov. Verjasov over to Burke, and a great stick by McMahon. Puck chipped deep, but McMahon collects it, and Apps is looking for it. Stolen there by Verjasov, who had to wait for Raczynski to get onside. Burke with a shot, and a great right pad save there by Tommy Forrest. Here comes Flack now for the Snipers in the offensive zone. He's got Lazzarato with him, chips it forward to him now. Apps behind the net, tried to chip it off the back of McKenzie. And he scores from behind the goal line. Paul Lazzarato shoots that top shelf where they keep the cookies from the kids. And the Snipers back ahead here late in the third period. How on earth did that go in?
Gossy, but what you can see here is that Troy Robinson came up high for a high check up on the boards, got caught right up near the blue line, and just created a little bit of defensive confusion, and that's given the man advantage to the Snipers.
I think we have to check if Paul Lazzarato can float, because he must be a witch or a wizard, because I don't know how you score physically possible to put that puck from that spot to the back of the net. What a goal by the Sniper.
He certainly did it, but he had the time to do it, and that's the key to it.
So the Dogs now trail again for the third time so far here in the game. Now down 4-3 with just under 6 minutes remaining. It's Troy Robertson for the Dogs in his own zone. He chips it up to Warren. McMahon stops that, but Joyce chips that deep into the zone. No icing here. Chinkata gets there first. He gets hit there by Warren. And the Snipers will get it out now. It was Gallagher looking for Dixon. It's Robertson who fakes that pass and still collects it here.
I'm not sure you'd call that one a fake there, Anton.
Hey.
Fake fan.
We don't know if he did it on purpose or not. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit of the doubt that time, absolutely. We've got a little break here. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play. The Snipers with a 1-goal lead. Shots on the net in this period so far is 10-5 in favour of the Dogs.
Look at this again on the CCM all-out replay. He seriously curled that puck from a foot behind the goal line to somehow find top shelf. What a goal.
Bend it like Beckham.
Yeah, everyone's been watching that documentary. I guess he took some notes. So here's Gallagher tying up Ruddle. Liam Webster gets it out into the neutral zone as the Snipers now are protecting a 1-goal lead. It's Freight Ray Khalil rimming it around, but Peng is back here for the Snipers. Head up, looking for a pass off the stick of Ruddle, and Knox is going to get it through now. Players offside, forced to regroup, and Knox curls back away from the checking Gallagher. Dixon now watches Astafiev. Peng chips it into the neutral zone. Freight Ray comes up and gets it over to Knox.
Keeping an eye on Mackenzie Hill to see if they pull him off the ice. It's under 5 minutes to play. The 1-goal deficit, the Dogs will probably pull their goalie at some point.
The Knox now up against Cutter. Cutter's able to get the puck over to Freight Ray. Freight Ray backs over to Astafiev, who chips that up over for Ruddle. Ruddle over the line, gets knocked down. Liam Webster will be first back for the Snipers as he's hit by Fisher. And Fisher now finds Ruddle. Ruddle the shot and a great save there by Forrest as he's able to close the legs. Puck now still deep in the zone. Good pressure here by the Dogs as they chase an equalizer. But here's Dave Barrett. But what a defensive play by Astafiev. And that springs Ruddle the other way. So here come the Dogs. It's nearly last chance saloon. Just under 4 minutes remaining. Raczynski, 3 goals in the game, deep in the Sniper zone. Puck with it is Verjasov. Pinned up against the wall. Buchanan is there along with Webster. Out with it is Dave Barrett, who's going to just try to chip that up, but he's tied up there by Verjasov, but able to keep it there on the boards. Great job to kick that up. Buchanan comes out with it and gets it up to Birchler. He's all by himself, so we'll do well just to get this puck deep.
Beautiful play there by Stringer, just taking away the option.
And here's Verjasov now on McDowell. A nice move, but McDowell just took the body. It's Flack now with it.
3 minutes
Skates
to play.
through. He's going to look to get this past the blue line. Off a skate of the Dogs, and that's going to allow Verjasov just to chip that away from Birchler. Bennett regroups for the Dogs. Over to Stringer, who just fanned on that one. And he'll send it back to his D partner. Looking over to send it all the way over Raczynski, but a great step up there by McMahon evaded that one. And as Raczynski just got on the line, the Snipers calling for offside, but they'll just regroup in their zone. Here comes Apps, taking number 1 overall in the entry draft for this season. Here for the Snipers with the puck.
Just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this third period.
McMahon intercepted there. It's with Raczynski backdoor. Burke not able to get a shot on. He sends it back to the point for Walls. Walls over to Robertson. He's got a shooting lane, but a kick save there. And a beauty by Forrest. And Lockie Walls not able to get that, and Mackenzie Hill comes out and leaves it for his defender.
So uncharacteristic mistake there by McMahon, allowing that intercept pass. Almost let the Dogs back in the game.
Here's
There they go
Raczynski.
again.
Wines takes the shot, and a glove save there by Forrest. And we've got 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining. Stop time.
With a 1 goal or less, 2 goal or less deficit with 3 minutes to play, we do have stop time now, and we're having a timeout. The Dogs have called a timeout, so they get 30 seconds to have a little bit of chat. Watch to see what they do with Mackenzie Hill. Will they pull the goalie, or will they wait till they have the face-off and then see if they get good possession? Because if they can go 6-on-5, give themselves that advantage. They throw everyone up forwards, just try and keep the puck in the opposite zone. So many times we see that extra player creates enough chaos in the defensive pattern that it scores goals. You'll see it time and time again in elite hockey. If they
Snipers all huddled around Coach Drew Coffray there as he draws up what we want to do on the defensive draw. What are we going to do if we lose the puck? What are we going to do if we win the puck?
Well, the number one thing is not to panic. And remember, they've got the advantage. What often happens with the team when they are down, when they get a 6-on-5 against them, is they do tend to panic and they tend to try too hard to score an empty net a goal. All they need to do is chip it out of the zone and turn around the attackers, because the Dogs will have players in deep. And if the Snipers can get the puck out of the zone, the Dogs can't do anything until they all come out of the zone. So just keep spying 10, 15 seconds. You don't have to clear it all the way down the other end, but you do have to clear the zone. So watch Mackenzie Hill, see if they pull him as soon as the face-off is done. I'd be suspecting that's the case, but we'll wait and see.
This is the thing we love about hockey.
Matters.
Last couple minutes, teams looking to win it, and the Snipers now ahead by 1, and it's a face-off won by Cutter, but skating forward was Verjasov, and the Snipers will get that down the length of the ice, but it will be an icing, so they'll go back and do it all again.
So you can see Mackenzie watching very, very closely. I think he's pretty primed to run straight off the ice. The coaching staff have no doubt worded him up about that, and he'll be ready to get off the ice absolutely as soon as possible. 1 minute 45 to go.
All the goal scorers of the game are on the ice right now. So here we are, puck shot down. We have another icing.
But what that does is it runs another 5 seconds off, and we just missed what happened there.
I think he just lost an edge and ran into the boards there.
So Troy Robertson fell over. Looks like he might be appealing for a collision. Not quite sure what happened there with one of the Snipers. Sorry, we weren't actually
luckily,
watching that
he's
very
all
closely,
good as he's on the ice, and it seems like he took a tumble because the boys are giving him a hard time from the bench. So puck's now with Liam Webster in the defensive zone there for the Snipers. He kicks it up there for Cutter, who's able to get it out into the neutral zone. So nice chip forward there by Gallagher, and here comes Dixon. Nice move, shot off the post, and great job there by Mackenzie Hill to come out, and Justin Dixon almost had it. So remember that save. There's Burke with a shot, but a save there by Forrest.
And as soon as Mackenzie made that poke check, he
look at this on the CCM all-out replay. Nice chip forward by Gallagher, and Dixon in, and Hill comes out and takes the legs of Dixon. Borderline trip as a goaltender. I've been called for that. I mean, I didn't see him touch the puck, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We always give the goalies the benefit of the doubt, right?
It's just you, Gossie. They don't like you. So the Dogs have left it off, and they've got 6-on-5. They must keep the puck in the zone and pile shots on and see what can happen. The Snipers just need to clear the puck.
Here's Berkey now. Burke with a shot. That goes high and wide. He'll skate to get his own rebound, being watched by Sankata. Burke takes a tumble. It goes behind the net to Raczynski. Raczynski over to Warren. Warren, top of the circles, takes a shot, and that one goes wide. A race for it now. Apps against Joyce. Joyce able to keep it in, and Robertson now looks to center it, and that goes out into the corner. Burke with it on the half wall, near side, gives it back to Joyce. Joyce, high slot, gets it over to the far side wall.
Snipers doing a good job of owning that space in front of the net.
Just waiting, looking for that cross seam over to Raczynski. Raczynski looking forward, a nice dive there by Apps to break that one up. Here's Verjasov. Berkey's calling for it. Verjasov still with it, takes a shot, and saved there by Forrest as it goes behind the net. They score! Raczynski, his 4th of the game with 28 seconds remaining to tie the game. Look at this. A great pass by Robertson, and Raczynski made no mistake. What a debut for the club for Vladislav Raczynski. His 4th of the game.
So there you go. That's what's happened when you pull the goalie and you go 6-on-5 and you manage to get sustained pressure and rebounds. And because you've got so many bodies around the net, if you do get a rebound, the chances of it being your stick there first are much greater. So great play there by the Dogs. They pulled the goalie at the right time. It's easy to say afterwards with benefit of hindsight, but that's what they did. If this game does go to a tie, there will be a penalty shootout to finish. There will be no overtime. We'll go straight to a shootout with 28 seconds to play.
So an exciting way to start the season so far. It's 4-all as the Snipers shoot that right in on Hill. Bennett falls down. The puck does come out into the neutral zone. There's one more chance available here for the game. 17 seconds remaining. Peng gets it up to Flack. Can't get it around Knox. Peng pinches forward, and the puck comes down deep into the Sniper zone here with 9 seconds remaining. McMahon takes it behind the net, takes a look at the clock, and probably decides, let's bank the point and take a shot at the skills comp.
So there will be, both teams will get, if it's a tie, actually I tell you why, because we have the shootout now, we're going to go to a best of 3 shootout. So what will happen is all the players have to leave the ice. Each team gets to take turns having a shot on the net. And if you score a goal, you score a goal. And you have to, whoever finishes the 3 shots with the most goals wins the shootout. If it's tied, then they go to an advantage situation where you have to get 1 goal clear of the other team. So
well, a tale of
that can sometimes go for a while.
It was a tale of 2 halves, and the Dogs really powered back in the second half of that game, led by their first draft pick of the entry draft, number 2 overall, Raczynski, with 4 goals, but a great job in net by Tommy Forrest. 41 shots against for 37 saves, and he's going to have to go up against a potent attack. So this one will be decided by the shootout, and up first for the Snipers is their captain, Liam Webster.
Legend of Australian ice hockey, and for great reason, and we'll see what he does.
Here comes the Wizard, coming in slow, takes a shot and just misses short side, and the Snipers 0 for 1.
So Gossi, I'm going to remind you, if you don't know about the golden rule of a penalty shootout, is you must put the puck on the net. Otherwise, the goalie doesn't actually have to do anything.
So 4 goals so far tonight.
Let that one go.
Dug his team out of a hole, and now he goes one-on-one with Tom Forrest here. Vladislav Raczynski in alone. Takes it wide. Cutting in. Makes the move, but outweights it as Tom Forrest, and Raczynski shoots it right into the breadbasket. So we're tied 0-0.
We might also see this on the replay. He may have overcommitted. He's done the right thing by cutting across, forcing the goalie to move, but then he's also moved backwards. So that might have been disallowed anyway.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. He made the move, but Forrest stayed with him. He thought maybe he could outweight Tommy Forrest, but he couldn't, and here comes Apps. So the first overall pick of the draft, here comes Apps. Apps in with a move, shot save, and just kept out. Mackenzie Hill with the poise to get the stick out and keep that from crossing the line as Apps came close.
Vajasov now for the Dogs, and he is
look at that on the CCM all-out replay, right on the line. Mac Hill, thank you very much.
You only need a millimeter, isn't that right, Gossi? That's
for sure, and here comes Vadim Vajasov. You know he's got some silky mitts. Coming in with some speed right in on Forrest. Makes a move, shot save. Oh, going to go through the legs, but Forrest watched it all the way and was able to make the save. We're getting a little bit of a goalie duel here, Carl.
We certainly are. It's a good one. Everyone, all the puck handling and outweighting is playing off in the hands of the goalies.
And here we go. Here's a good one. The goalie's just talking to him a little bit. He says, this is what I think you need to do. And
you need to put it in the net.
We already know Lazarato's a bit of a wizard after the goal he scored tonight. He comes in with a chance to put the Snipers ahead. He shoots, he scores! I wonder if that's what Tommy Forrest told him, but Lazarato makes no mistake as he slides that one right between the legs of Mackenzie Hill.
He would have told him that if you don't put it on the net, it's not going in. Here comes the wizard of the Dogs,
the captain Jamie Burke.
No pressure, Burke.
Game on his stick. He needs to score to keep the Snipers alive up against Tommy Forrest. Coming in slow, waiting. Fakes the shot, goes wide, save Forrest! So Tommy Forrest 3 for 3 in the shootout, and the Snipers win and take game 1 of the Winter Pro League over the Dogs, 5-4.
So I think it doesn't get any closer than going to a shootout there. Berkey would be a little bit disappointed with that shot. He was trying to probably open up the 5-hole on Tommy Forrest, but Tommy said, no, that's not happening tonight. So at the end of the game, we had goals to Gallagher, 2 in the first. And then Raczynski scored for the Dogs twice in the second, Carter bringing it back. So at the end of the second, it was 3-2 in favour of the Snipers. But in the third, Raczynski evened it up to take it up to 3-all with another assist from Berkey and Corey Stringer. And then Lazarato for the Snipers took them up to 4-3. And then on the 6-on-5, stacking pulled the goalie at the finish. It was was Raczynski who tidied it up, and it was all tied at 4 goals apiece. And then in the shootout, we just saw just then at that point, it was the Dogs are not able to score anyone. And who was it who got the goal then? You can probably remind me.
Lazzarato.
Who snuck through the 5-hole of Mackenzie Hill and made the Snipers take the prize from the Doggies. No bones for the Dogs tonight. Next week, we will have round 2, and it will be at it's on Friday the 8th at 7:30 p.m. and it will be between the Snipers and the Inferno. And if it's anything like tonight, you want to be here to watch it. What an absolute cracker of a game. But of course, if you can't make it down here to IceHQ, it is free to get in and watch the games. I can tell you the barn is rocking and it's a great show. It's full contact adult male hockey and the boys are most definitely back in town. So next Friday at the 8th at 7:30 p.m. Snipers